Welcome to the Casuals Guide to UFC 298 Volkanovski vs Topuria, where I show you filthy casuals why this card is going to be a banger. So go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe, and let's get right into it. In the main event, Alexander the Great Volkanovski defends his featherweight title against Ilia El Matador Topuria. 2023 was a roller coaster for Volkanovski. He would move up to lightweight to challenge Islam Makhachev for the title. He would fall short, losing by unanimous decision. He would return to featherweight to defend his title against Yair Rodriguez, where he would win by TKO in the third round. He would end the year stepping in on short notice to try again for the lightweight belt. This time it would be worse, as he would get finished in the first round. Now he returns to featherweight, where he has yet to lose a fight in the UFC. He is super well rounded. His boxing has improved greatly and his grappling has become a true weapon for him. But a new challenger approaches, and Ilia Topuria has been on the rise. He made his UFC debut winning a unanimous decision against Youssef Zalal. Next, he would win by highlight knockout over Damon Jackson, and he would follow that up by putting away a dangerous grappler in Ryan Hall. He would start to get on y'all casuals' radar when he fought Jai Herbert in England. During the build-up of this fight, he would get in that altercation with Paddy Pimblett, and he would show his toughness in the fight when he would get hurt badly in the first round, only to turn it around and land a highlight knockout that would put Jai straight to sleep. He would finally break into the rankings by submitting Bryce Mitchell via arm triangle choke, and he made it look too easy. In his last fight, he would win a unanimous decision against Josh Emmett in a fight where he looked like the real deal. He dominated that fight, hurting Josh over and over again. He has gained recognition for his very dangerous hands, 4 wins by knockout or TKO, but it is actually his grappling that's his most dangerous weapon. 8 wins by knockout or TKO, and he looks so strong in those grappling positions. This is going to be a fun one. 2 very dangerous guys looking to prove that they are the king of the featherweights. Don't miss out. In the co-main event, Robert the Reaper Whittaker finally takes on Paulo The Eraser Costa. You casuals and myself already know not to believe this fight until they lock that cage with them inside of it and Bruce Buffer begins the introductions, because this fight has already fallen through before and you never really know with Paulo Costa. Both guys are still top middleweights but are looking to bounce back. Robert Whittaker was doing his thing, stopping contenders from ever reaching the pinnacle of the division. The Reaper played spoiler to the dreams of Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier, and Darren Till. He stopped their momentum in classic Whittaker fashion, but he was never able to defeat Adesanya, who was the champion, and it seemed like he was the second best guy in the division. That was until his last fight, where he would come face to face with the surging South African. He was matched up with Dricus du Plessis, and right out the gate you could tell it wasn't going to be a classic Whittaker stopping another contender type of fight. Dricus held his own, and in the second round Robert would get hurt with the power jab as he was coming in, and then the follow-up would force the ref to stop the fight. Fun fact, Dricus and Adesanya are the only 2 guys Whittaker has lost to at middleweight. He's going to try to keep it at 2 when he takes on the Eraser. Paulo Costa has been out the fight game since 2022. His last fight was a unanimous decision win over a retiring Luke Rockhold, where it would be a fun, bloody fight. He is a big volume striker who uses his cardio to push the pace to intense levels. 11 of his 14 wins are by knockout or TKO, but they usually aren't one-punch knockouts. Usually they're TKOs after he drowns his opponents with pace. It's been a long layoff with some nasty injuries mixed in. He's going to have to be at his best against Whittaker. Top middleweights face off to prove that they still belong in the mix among the elites. Don't miss out. Elite wrestlers clash when the Machine Merab Dvalishvili takes on Triple C, the King of Cringe, Cejudo. I know you casuals hate grappling, but these guys are the best of the best when it comes to wrestling. On top of that, both guys have been trading barbs for a while now, so the beef has been marinating for a while. Both guys are top bantamweights, possibly 1 win away from a title shot. Cejudo was a 2-division champion when he would capture both the flyweight and bantamweight titles. He would retire after knocking out Dominic Cruz back in 2020. He would come out of retirement in 2023 to challenge Aljamain Sterling for the title. He would fall short, losing by split decision. His future was uncertain, but now he's making what could possibly be his last title run attempt when he takes on Morav Valishvili. The Machine has been on a 7-fight win streak. The only thing keeping him away from a title shot was his respect and loyalty to Aljamain Sterling. But now that Aljo's moving up to featherweight, the path is clear for him. His 9-fight win streak has been filled with some great performances. He started off with solid decision wins over Terrion Ware, Brad Katona, Casey Kenny, Gustavo Lopez. John Dodson, and Cody Stamann. He would make a huge jump when he took on Marlon Moraes. This fight was non-stop action. Morav would get cracked early and Marlon would try his best to end the fight, but Morav kept himself in the fight to eventually turn it around and end the fight in the second round. Next, he would face the legend Jose Aldo. He would show off his impressive gas tank as he was all go for all 3 rounds. He shot endless takedowns to mild success, but he would win the unanimous decision. He would show off his cardio once again in his last fight against Peter Yan. He would mix it all up, but it was his wrestling that stood out. He would land a total of 11 takedowns and win the unanimous decision. He is a machine. Both guys are elite wrestlers and there is a lot at stake. Don't miss out. The beef finally gets settled when Geoff Hands of Steel Neal takes on Ian the Future Garry Machado. These guys were originally matched up back in 2023 for UFC 292, but Neal had to pull out due to injury. That is also when the beef started to marinate, because Ian's been really playing up to the villain role. He wore Geoff Neal's mugshot on a shirt leading up to the fight. Some fans thought it was a low blow, others didn't mind it much, but the sentiment towards Ian and his shenanigans have really soured since then. Since the mugshot shirt, to trying to paint Neal Magny as an abuser, to all the drama surrounding him and his wife, people kind of have turned on him. How do you guys feel about Ian Garry Machado right now? Let me know down in the comments. He is 13-0 as a pro and 6-0 in the UFC so far. He made his highly anticipated debut against Jordan Williams, where he would win by impressive knockout. He would follow that up with back-to-back decision wins over Darian Weeks and Gabe Green. He would show toughness against Song Kanan, when after getting dropped early in the fight, he would bounce back to win by TKO. He would finish Daniel Rodriguez when he landed a perfect head kick that dropped D-Rod and some ground and pound with the cherry on top. In his last fight, he would dominate short notice replacement Neal Magny, kicking his feet out from under him. He looked great despite not finishing the fight, and he's looking to replace his number 10 with Neal's number 8. It won't be an easy task as Geoff Neal has earned his nickname, Hands of Steel. 9 of his 15 wins are by knockout or TKO, and he has some highlight finishes over Mike Perry and Nico Price. His power was on full display when he became the first man to finish the always durable Vicente Luque by strikes. He battered Luque until he finally put him out in the 3rd round. In his last fight, he would be matched up with the undefeated prospect out of Kazakhstan, Shavkat Rakhmonov. This fight was fireworks. They went toe to toe in what would be a bloody banger. Unfortunately for Neal, Shavkat would lock in a standing rear naked choke in the 3rd round to finish the fight. It was a loss, but his stock did not drop. Both guys belong with the best welterweights. This is a collision course between top welterweight strikers trying to make their run to the title. Don't miss out. We got a banger of a fight when Anthony Fluffy Henrnadez takes on Roman Kopylov. If you casuals don't know either of these guys, just quit MMA right now. But if you want to be enlightened, let me tell you why this is an awesome opener. Anthony Hernandez is the 14th ranked middleweight. He is a dog. Since losing to Kevin Holland via 1st round TKO, he has gone on a 4-fight winning streak. He put himself on the map with a huge win over Rodolfo Vieira. The black belt hunter was looking to add Hernandez on his long list of submission victims, but it was Fluffy who would flip the script and shock the world when he would lock in a guillotine choke to submit Vieira in the 2nd round. He would follow that up with a dominant decision win over Josh Fremd, where he would show off his grappling skills, but it was back to his finishing ways when he would lock in an arm triangle choke in the 3rd round against Marc-Andre Barriault. In his last fight, he would get a TKO win over Edmund Shabazian after taking him down and delivering some brutal ground and pound. He is a super fun fighter. He is a relentless striker with some underrated grappling. It's been almost a year since his last fight. It's been a string of cancellations for Fluffy. He was matched up with fellow prospect Ikram Aliskerov, but Ikram would pull out and Roman Kopylov would step in. Roman Kopylov has also been diagnosed with that dogism. Kopylov has bounced back since losing his first 2 fights in the UFC to Carl Roberson and Albert Durev. He has won 4 in a row and he has finished all 4 of those fights. He would start his streak with a TKO over Alessio Di Chirico, and he would get an impressive win over Punahele Soriano, becoming the first person to ever stop him. He will follow that up with a highlight head kick finish over Claudio Ribeiro that you casuals for sure have seen the highlight before. It was an awesome finish, but he would not stop there. In his latest fight, he would finish Josh Fremd when he landed some nasty body shots that would fold Fremd. He has found some momentum, but a very game Hernandez stands in his way of entering the top 15. As a fan of entertaining fighters, I would love to see Roman Kopylov finally break into the rankings, but not at the expense of Anthony Hernandez. It's going to be a great fight. Don't miss out. Alright guys, that was my rundown of UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria. It's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in, and I'll see you next week for UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Royval 2. But until then, protect your neck and take care.
They talking crazy about you. They said
brother,
they smash
who
you.
cares? Who cares, brother? Who cares, brother? Who cares? Today, smash.